Good afternoon, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Coffee and a Card. So I'm Holly with Handcrafted Blessings, and always looking forward to being with you together as we look at some happy mail, we chat a bit, and we make a project. And apparently cough. So, so welcome if you're just coming in. And yeah. I've got some happy mail to show you. Actually, I have a lot of cards to show you. 'Tis the season of a lot of people sending Christmas cards, I think. But we'll see. We'll see if they're Christmas or not Christmas. So, and then after we do that, we'll talk a little bit about some new stuff. And then I am not making a card today. I'm actually going to show you how to make 2 different Christmas ornaments using the Night Divine and Stars at Night to make a couple Christmas ornaments. So fun little gifts that you can make for the holidays. But first, let's start with some happy mail. So we'll start with one from Vestus Trabe. And, using the same products I'm using today. Peace on earth, goodwill to all. And the stamp says, wishing you the hope and peace of Christ this season. Merry Christmas. I love this paper and that ribbon. I am so excited, you guys, that this ribbon is carrying over. So that's going to be super fun to be able to keep using that. Okay, next we've got one from Deb Witt from Oklahoma. And let's see, it's in plastic. Let me see if I can get this open. There we go. And it's a calendar. So you can see here from the side, it's going to be able to stand on my desk. And we can just tear off the front here. And you'll see that all the months of the year are in here. So if you're looking for little calendars like this, Tailored Expression is a great source for those. But that's super cute. Okay, next we've got, another one from Vesta. And, if I can get it out. And it says, because you're awesome. See that embossing there in the background? Oh, and then she's got her note on the inside. But that's fun. I like the diagonal layout here of this one. Let's see, Amanda Bach from Illinois. You can hear from the sound, I didn't even get some of these envelopes opened before I went live. So it says, grateful for you. I like that. Look at, you see the background again? That embossing folder is on the online exclusives. So that's where that's coming from. And a note there. I always read you guys' notes after I show them, since I don't typically look at your cards before Facebook Live. So don't worry, I go back and read all of the messages. So this one is from Kim Glover from Minnesota. It says, enjoy your special day. Oh, I was not expecting that. Enjoy your special day. So it opens there. There we go. So it's that double flap fold that we did not too long ago. That's really fun. So it's so easy to step up your cards with fun folds, you guys. Welcome everybody who's coming in here today. Julie Link from Minnesota. So this is that autumn paper. So these are the sides that I didn't use as much. So you've got your leather couch here in the background. And then you've got the bookcase, and those go really well together. It says, just loving spending time with you. That is a really great card. I love that. I would not have thought to combine that with that sentiment, but it's great. Okay, we got one from Carolyn Jackson from Ohio. And sometimes it's a trick to get y'all's envelopes open. Okay, there we go. Oops, there's a note. Okay, happy birthday. Look at the simplicity of this, you guys, but it's so beautiful. The back has those ruffles. I don't remember what this embossing folder is called, but it's like ruffles on the embossing folder. So super pretty way to do it. It says warm wishes, which is great for a winter birthday like mine. Definitely want to stay warm. One from Gail Peterson in Wisconsin. I can't get it out of the envelope. Okay, I'm going to have to rip the envelope. There we go. All right, Merry Christmas. Oh, look at that big rustic barn. Very cool. It says, may the beauty of the season bring you joy and warm memories to cherish throughout the year. So that background stamp is really pretty. I don't have it, but I've seen a bunch of cards with it, and I really like it. You guys actually tempt me to buy stuff. Because you send me these cards, and I'm like, oh, I need the stamp set you used for it. This one's from Tony Shaw in Pennsylvania. Wishing you a festive Christmas. The truck is just classic. You can't go wrong with the red truck on a Christmas card. Or any card for that matter. Okay, and last but not least, we have one here from Nancy Gallant, one of my downline. And she used those Bright and Beautiful cards and envelopes. So here's the coordinating card. It says, I can't imagine having a better friend. Look at that cat. Oh, I love the fat cat. It's so cool. From Nancy. That is really cute. And I love this because the card base is already cut and scored for you. So you can just add, like she did, onto the front of the card. So really, really handy. Okay, I am going to move all of these aside because we're going to need all of our space today. Okay. There, I think I got that. So I'll go ahead and put this down. Welcome to everybody who's coming in. We just did some Happy Mail, and now we're going to jump into kind of some other stuff. So a lot of those products that you just saw came from our current catalog, which is the Fall Mini Catalog. And this one, we only have about a month left of this. To be specific, it ends January 3rd. It says it on the back. So there are a number of products from this catalog that are about to go away, and some have already gone away. So this is your chance. We call it the last chance sale to stock up on whatever it is you love in this catalog before it disappears forever. So just know that, and some of those products in the last chance sale are on sale right now too. So just want to remind you of that. And then this morning, I was able to submit a pre-order for new products from the upcoming Spring Mini Catalog. So this catalog starts January 4th, which is a Thursday, and it is also celebration time. So if you're new around here, celebration is 2 months where for every $50 you order, you can earn free product. So there's some gorgeous papers in here. There's ribbon, embellishments, dies, stamps, all sorts of things that you can earn for free. On every $50 you spend, you get more free items. So I ordered my catalogs this morning. So they're going to be coming out in the mail to you guys very soon. If you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like a catalog, shoot me a message and I will get you added to my mailing list. But if you're a current customer, you automatically get a catalog from me. So today, actually, let me come back to this one here. For our project, we are going to be making Christmas ornaments. Now, if you don't want a Christmas ornament, you could easily put these on the front of a card. So in the catalog, on page 17, I don't know if you saw these, but there are these Christmas ornaments right here, okay? There's 3 different ones, and I decided that I wanted to figure out how to make something similar to these Christmas ornaments. So I've modified it a little bit to work for, well, what I wanted for my tree. And I thought I would show you how to make those. Now, in the video links, up in the video description, you'll actually find the links to the gold hoops. I get those on Amazon, and I'll show you those in just a second. But that is what we're working with. So let me show you the 2 ornaments. I've got them hanging here. Whoops. I could also drop them. So if I lay it flat, it's going to look like this. but it actually turns a little bit because I have mirrored my image on both sides. And I'll show you how to do that. And then the second one I made, let me get it hanging on my stand here. I'm going to show you from the top so you can kind of see it spinning around. So it's a 3D star ornament. So the version in the catalog is just flat, but I decided I wanted to make it 3D. So if you look at it flat, this is what it looks like here. But when we look from the top, it has a nice 3D spin to it. Okay, now these are actually super simple, and you're probably going to be amazed at how simple it was when I started trying to figure this out. Okay, so let's start with, let me show you the gold hoops. We're going to need those here today. We're going to use a 3-inch hoop and a 4-inch hoop. I'm going to take one of each of those out. And sorry for all the crinkling of plastic. Okay. So we have a 3-inch hoop and a 4-inch hoop. So let's start with our smaller one. So what I wanted to do was I was going to take the Decal Circles. As you can see, we have lots of choices here. And the first thing I wanted to do was figure out what size deckled rectangles should I use in here. So what I did was I just took a deckled rectangle off, and I'm like, oh, nope, that's too big. So I bet if we go down 1, maybe 2 sizes. So that would work. So see, when you lay it inside of the hoop, you can kind of decide what size deckled circle you want to use. So, and that doesn't quite have as much margin as I would like. So we're actually going to go down 1 more size. Yes, there we go. Because I wanted to give some good clear space so you could see through the hoop. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4th from the inside, okay? So the 4th one, if you start counting on the smallest circle, this is the 4th one. So what I did was I just cut out 2 circles, okay? We're going to do more stamping and die cutting in a minute, but some of this I pre-prepped just to help us out. So that's with the deckled circles. So then my nativity comes from the Night Divine dies. And you know, it has this whole thing with the sheep and wise men and a shepherd and Mary and Joseph, but I just wanted the middle piece. So I've die cut a couple of those, and you'll see here, they're not full die cuts. Okay, because I wanted to save paper, so I just kept moving it around because I really only needed Mary and Joseph and the manger. So I'm just going to kind of trim off the sides here so that I just have Mary and Joseph with the manger. Just like that. Okay? So we got to do 2 of these because remember, we are creating a front and back to our ornament. So I'm just going to trim 2 of these. Our poor little shepherd's going to go away. Okay, oh, and there's a piece here in the middle. I got to pop that out. There we go. Okay, so I've got our 2 little nativities. So I'm going to take some mini dimensionals, and we're going to turn both of these over, and we're just going to apply some mini dimensionals. If you don't have the mini, you can always cut your regular ones. That works too. Sometimes just for time saving, it's easier to grab the mini. Okay. All right, there we go. So now I'll take all these backings off so we can put them on our deckled circles. Okay. So just take each one and move this over. And we're just gonna stick it on there. Whoops, kind of towards the bottom. Because I want to leave room for the star that we're gonna add. Okay. And, oh goodness gracious. My stars are here, I promise. Oh, here we go. Found them. So using those adhesive star trinkets, we're going to add a couple of stars here. I'm taking the larger size and I'm just going to add it right here on the middle, kind of up at the top, but in the middle between Mary and Joseph. There we go. Okay, so we've got our 2 mirror image pieces. Now what we're going to do is take some of our gold. So this is from the gold and silver trim combo pack. So it comes with 2 rolls, 1 of each. And this is how I'm going to make my ornament string, okay? Now, I'm not going to cut it off quite yet. So what I'm going to do is, using my hoop, I'm going to estimate how much string I need. So we're going to be starting from the bottom of our hoop, so I just kind of hold it there. And I would say that's probably about long enough. I'll just cut a little extra just in case. So I can see here with a piece of ribbon folded in half, that should be tall enough to have enough string to hang from my tree. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start by just setting it on our hoop. Okay? It's on the outside of the hoop. Now I'm actually going to cover this seam. There's a little bit of a seam on this. All I've done is set it right on the exterior of the hoop. Okay? I'm just holding it straight across on my hoop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 strand and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom of the hoop. Okay? So just like that, let me hold it up here. I've just wrapped 1 strand. Okay? I'm going to do it one more time because if you're making these, if you watch the replay because you decide you want to make these, I want you to be able to see what I've done. So I'm simply putting my ribbon right over the hoop, just holding it over the hoop, just like that. Then we're going to take one end and I'm going to bring it through the middle of the hoop and wind it back around. And that's how I'm going to keep my ribbon in place as I proceed with my project. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing up at the top. So I'm just wrapping one of those strings around the top of the hoop, just like so. So now I can tie it at the top of my hoop. And I can promise you it's way easier when you're not trying to do it in midair to demonstrate to somebody else. Basically, you just need to get your ribbon wrapped around the hoop so that it'll stay in place. So I'm going to tie a knot right there at the top of my hoop, and I'm going to tie another knot up here so that I have a loop for my tree. Keep that up at the top. There we go. It's a little bit short, but it'll still work around a small branch. Okay, so now we have our string through the hoop. So what we can do now is we can attach our 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these both over, and I'm actually going to use tear and tape, because tear and tape I think is a little bit stronger than just kind of your regular adhesive. You could also use glue if you wanted to, I don't have the patience for glue to dry. Just being honest here, folks. I don't like to wait for glue to dry. Okay. Now, you don't have to worry about that piece of tear and tape that's a little too long. We'll just fold it back over on itself once I peel off the white. There we go. Okay. So we'll just take off those white backings. Just like you take off the white backings on your dimensionals, we do the same thing for our tear and tape. And I'll fold that extra back over. Okay. And then let me get the other ones off. Now, let's say that you didn't need a Christmas ornament. You could use these and add them to the front of a card. They would be super cute, or a gift tag. They would also make really cute gift tags as well. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting my first one here, and I'm just going to lightly adhere it because I don't want it to stick to my desk. Then I can turn it over. And add the second decaled circle right over the top of the first one. Just press that down. Oh, my star got a little wonky. Let's straighten my star. There we go. All right, and just like that, we have our first ornament. So you're making a mirror image because you just never know when it might turn on your tree, you know. And then this way you can see through, so you'll be able to see some of your Christmas lights coming through your ornament as well. And again, that uses a 3-inch gold hoop. So that's what we're using for that one. All right, let me show you the 3D star. So let's set these over here. So we're going to take our 4-inch gold hoop is what we're going to be using here. And we're going to start with some of that gold thread, and we're going to do the same thing that we just did for our string. Okay, except I'm going to go much longer this time because I want to make sure I have a nice long string for my tree. Okay, so I'm folding it in half over my hoop, and we're flattening it out so it's not all twisted. Okay, so you get to see literally the first step is exactly the same as the other ornament. So I just wind that over the hoop, push these back together so it looks like a single loop. Oh, and then we'll do it again on this side. I recommend doing it flat on your surface, but I need you to be able to see what I'm doing. So that's why I'm kind of holding it up in the air. Okay, now that I've wound it around both of them, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because I forgot to do that. So now I can tie the knot at the top of my hoop. You could also use the gold trim. Oh gosh, I can't think of what it's called. It comes in gold and silver, and it's a little more of the thickness of like baker's twine. I think that would be really cute too. I don't have any of that on hand. So that's why I was using this gold. All right. And then I'll tie my knot up here at the top. This one will have a much better string to hang from my tree. So there we go, we'll just tie a knot up there. Okay, so we've got our gold hoop. And I always like to cover, there's a little seam on the hoop, so I just cover it. All right. Okay, now let's talk about our 3D star and how we're going to do that. So first we need our Decal Circles. So for this one, because the hoop is a little bit bigger, we're going to step up with our Decal Circles. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is 6 from the center. Okay, so we're going to make 2 of those because we're mirror imaging our ornament. So 6 from the right, let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, this is 6. So let's work on our stars. We need 4 stars for this project. So this stamp comes from Stars at Night, right here. And then we're also going to be using the Stars at Night dies, which I will show you in a moment because we're going to die cut these stars out. So, let's see how good my Night of Navy ink is doing today. Ooh, a nice rich inking today. Excellent. I do recommend that you make sure your ink pad is nice and inky for this one, because you really want that solid Night of Navy, just that royal look to these stars. Okay, one more. There we go. Okay, so we'll take this, we'll just move these over here, and I'm just going to move my ribbon aside because we're going to be getting the embossing machine out here. So with our dies, we're going to use the Stars at Night hybrid embossing folder, and in that's what it's called, is the hybrid embossing folder. We're not actually going to use the embossing folder part, we're just going to use the die. So what you're going to notice with this die is that it's actually 3 stars connected to each other, like this, okay? We only want to cut this middle one, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am just going to cut these apart so that when I'm die cutting, I'm not cutting anything else. However, if you wanted some extra stars, you could just cut all 3 and use the other 2 as solid stars for another project. Okay, so we're going to grab our cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to stick this here. And I'm also going to grab a piece of scrap paper. So this is actually just a piece of copy paper, and I'm just going to cut it in half real quick. I thought I had a half of one sitting here. I'm going to protect my plates just a little bit. So we're going to set that right here, okay? And you'll see why here in just a moment. So with this die, I only need to line up the 1 star that we are cutting out. Let's see here. Now you can also I can talk. You can also fussy cut this star. I think that would be, pretty quick and easy to do as well. So I gotta ask, while I'm cutting all these stars out, because I gotta cut 4 of them, have any of you put up your Christmas tree? Is anybody done with Christmas shopping? That would be fun to know. Okay, so I have not even started my Christmas shopping. Josh and I did start talking about it, but we haven't actually started any of the shopping. Haven't figured out all of our ideas yet for people. But I still have, what, 20-something days to go. All right, so I'm going to take this off of here. And we'll put the other scrap on. The reason I'm using this copy paper is because I didn't want the die to cut straight on my plate. I wanted to have just a little bit of protection. Now you can tell I'm not cleaning out all of those extra pieces. Not worried about them. They're not getting in the way of being able to cut this star. So I don't have to worry about them. Wow, Tony says tree up, decorations done, shopping done, wrapping done. That is so impressive. So Kathy says we got a mail by the 16th of December for gifts to arrive on time. It's good to know. Thankfully, I don't think I have any gifts that have to be shipped this year. We are doing our family Christmas in Indiana, and we're driving. My dad's flying out to Iowa, and then we'll drive over to Indiana together. All right, last star. So everything should fit in my car. Okay, last one. So for this project, you do need 4 stars. So we've got all of our stars cut out. And now, take our last star out here. Throw away all these scraps can just go in the trash. You can see this is a well-loved plate here that I am using, but it still works, so I keep using it. All right, let me move all this aside. And here, we'll just pop out these pieces real quick. Okay, so this one, I was a little bit off of the plate. So we're just gonna fix that with a little fussy cutting. So I'm just gonna clean up this die cut. I can go right around. It almost looks like there's a score line on my die cut because it just didn't quite cut all the way through the paper. There we go. Okay. So now I've got my 4 stars. 4 stars. Oh, with a little background. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these, and I'm going to take my trimmer, and I'm just going to score them in half. So I could try to fold it in half, but I found that the middle point of the star, it's not that easy to just fold it in half. So it was better if I just quickly gave it a score line that I could then fold on. So we'll just lightly score each one of these, because that's how we're going to create that popped up 3D look for our ornament. These would make good Christmas presents, you know. I could actually make a couple more of these and give them to my family for Christmas. And that would work too. Okay, can't pick those up. So now that we have our stars scored in half, I can just fold them in half on that score line. Being careful to keep that tip. I want to get that tip folded in half. So we'll fold each one of these. Now, if you just wanted to do a one-sided flat ornament, or again, if you wanted to use this on the front of a card or on a gift tag, you could just do 2 stars together. So we'll fold all of our stars here. And one last one. Because how these will go together is back to back. So when we have 2 stars folded like this, we're going to tape them down together, okay? So here's the spine of our stars. You can kind of get perspective here. And I'm going to tape them. So if I have a star folded in half and a star folded in half, I'm going to tape these 2 together, okay? So again, I am going to use tear and tape, which I threw on the floor. Not on purpose, of course. And I'm just going to add just one piece of tear and tape here and one on the other. Okay? So, oops, peel off my backing. Having a piece on each side, they're in slightly different spots, so it'll just make sure that it gives better adherence. So I'm just going to turn these over on each other and tape them together, lining up the points of my stars. There we go. I'm going to tape those 2 together. So you see here when I open it, I have this star, if I show you from the top, and then from the front, okay? So then what'll happen is this back portion becomes what attaches to the deckled circle. So now I'll take another couple of pieces of tear and tape, and we'll set those over the back of the star. And this is what will go on our deckled circle. Just like that. But actually, I just realized something. I want to put my deckled circles on the ornament first because it'll be a lot simpler. So I have tape exposed here. I'm just going to set that to the side for a second. Let me do that other step first. So we'll bring back our hoop and we'll bring our 2 deckled circles. They're the same pattern, but you could definitely, use 2 different patterns on your deckled circles behind your stars. So we'll add some, whoops, a piece came off on my finger. Add some more of that tear and tape or glue if that's your preference. Maybe one of my New Year's resolutions should be to work with glue. This year my goal was to learn how to tie bows. And I would say I reached my goal. My bows aren't perfect, but if you were around earlier this year or last year, you know I have come a long ways in being able to tie a bow. Oh my goodness. I laugh when I see some of my bow tying efforts from over the years. But this year I was determined to work on bow tying. Okay, this paper's not directional, so I'm just going to set it down and I'm going to set my hoop right over it. And then I'm going to take my second piece and go right over the top of that. Press this down so it gets nice and stuck together. And now I'm ready to add that star. Okay. Now we're going to repeat the process here. So we got 2 stars that have to be stuck together. And then we'll stick them to the ornament. So I got that piece on here. Okay, oops, let's turn that over. And I will line up the points of my stars. There we go. Get that nice and burnished there. Then I can open up my star. And on the back, we'll add a couple of pieces of tear and tape. And there we go. Okay. We'll turn this over. Now this one you're going to kind of hold up in the air, unless you want to flatten your star, which you can. It'll pop back up. And now I can just, I'm burnishing both sides at the same time. Get that star nice and stuck down. And then, here we go. We have a star. So you can see from the top, you've got that 3D look. So I would place this somewhere on your tree where it could maybe spin. You know, catch some of the light, have that twinkling lights on it. And then if you look at each side, so here's one side, right here. And you can just see how it has that popped up star, and then the same exact thing on the other side. So now I did on my first one, because I saw in the catalog, I liked how they tied the navy and gold here at the top. Kind of covers up that connection point with that navy and gold ribbon. I'm currently out of it, so I need to order some more so that I can finish my other ornaments. But you can see this one has been laid flat, and it still pops up. So yeah, anyways, I thought it'd be fun just to show you something different for this video. So some ornaments. Now if you came in late, I also made a second ornament, which was this one with a 3-inch hoop, and it has the same thing front and back, so just the nativity. So really simple, you guys. Just taking those decaled circles, put the decaled circles on your hoop, and then add whatever you want on to your circles. So let me just show you a couple of other ideas that I have kind of in process. I've just taken one of our boxes, and in here I have a whole bunch of extra stars of different colors. So some of them are out of designer series paper, some of them are out of like gold foil, so those will be stars I can use. And then what I've done here is I've just created some stars. So like this one, let me show you it. This one is going to have that star, and then this one, let me just move this box right here. Then I'm going to put this one on here, and then finally this one out of designer series paper. So that's going to have kind of a triple star for that one. And then, let's see here. This one, I think I already have a sample made down here. This one is just a flat star, so it'll just be flat. But what I've done is I stamped the star, and then I cut out a navy star. I cut it in half, and I put it behind the vanilla. So that'll be another version. And then, last but not least, I've got the full nativity. So this time I cut the whole thing out, and then we can put the whole thing on a star. So just a bigger version of what you saw on here. So this one just has Mary and Joseph. Now here I can make, with the 4-inch hoop, I'll make one with the full nativity. So just some different ideas to give you guys on how you might mix and match, you know, some of the stars and make some other ornament ideas. So hopefully that helps. And again, put them on gift tags, put them on the front of your cards, and use those stars because they're so cute. So thanks so much for tuning in today for Coffee and a Card. I hope you found inspiration. And don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.